Hello and welcome at Stocks Advisor channel. Here at our channel we are looking for interesting buy opportunities for US-based stocks. And today we'll speak about next three stocks of our choice. These are NXP Semiconductors, Caterpillar and F5 Networks. Well, first we start with NXP Semiconductor. NXP today has shown actually a kind of a classical ending of the upwards wave that started at the beginning of October here, and we can clearly see that we were actually ending our wave by making a doji kind of candle at moving average 20. This green line, by the way, we have three moving averages here depicted. It's moving average 20, 50 and 200 being green, blue and red line correspondingly. So now the situation was developing in such a way that we with this small doji after being after the white candle that was showing previous trading session, it seems like we are going to pierce moving average 20, but also we need to take into account news that were released and earning reports that gained 2.42% plus already after hours for NXP. And this might mean a kind of a quick reversal of the wave or jump up of the wave. So tomorrow we might open higher and form probably kind of a reddish candle, so or volatile candle on the top, because we don't need to be kind of mistaken and think that there will be severe movement upwards, because news, though they were nice for a company which is about 40 billion market capacity, they cannot really change in this level the technicality or technical pressure of the stock. So therefore the price, should it even open higher tomorrow, will not go higher most probably than R1 upwards channel, because this formed and also sending price RSI almost over both zone and being really very high on MACD curve still means that, and also by the way volume was quite high, almost 2 times. It means that to pierce those levels we need to have a lot of fuel there, which is not there at the moment. So even if we have similar action, which would mean we need to beat almost 2 weeks trading, the price will most probably rebound, and this is a point where we can start looking for another entry positions and let's say waiting for correction. Though with this positive news, the correction should not be that very low. Therefore we can see the levels here. The first one is actually current low. We can call it a volatile volatility level, because most probably we will not end up sitting on it. And the next levels here that we see are those. It's moving average 50 actually working as additional support line here. And then if we start looking for further support lines for NXP, it would be this one, and then another one somewhere at the level of 120 plus. And again, the next levels are almost at the vicinity of moving average 200. Not given that we go that low, but just to draw it since they are on the chart pattern. And with this, if we would name the lines, let's call it V1 volatility level, then S1, S2, S3 and actually S4. With this we can say here that the first nice entry would be for S1 level, since tomorrow with this overall jump already pre-market, actually after hours, and already we expect a similar jump at pre-market, the price probably will just start fading from somewhere beginning of the trading session, once the dust will settle after overall emotional buyout. And then we can say the first entry would be on the levels of actually of S1, and we can even have already the reconfirmation of the trend that is formed already long time here, which we can draw. Actually it's 2 trends, the shorter trend, then we had actually the faster trend, the shorter trend here. Let's go with darker line, and then we see a formation of the faster trend. Okay, let's do all trends here in brown. So we can reconfirm the trend actually already. Let's call it T1, but most probably the channel of downwards trade will be formed here, because tomorrow's top will form kind of ceiling top of the downwards trading channel, starting from R1 level and then going somewhere with the angle which will be defined by tomorrow's maximum actually. And this new channel, let's call it R2, might work then actually as a top, meaning that we can have an actually nice corrections on those levels. And then at the bottom of this trading channel can be seen like this, which we can call an R3 line. So within this channel R2, R3, we can make our trade, and therefore the first entry, the first dark circle is advised with buying ability of one portion. Should this be broken, this channel, then we can actually look for another entry position here, and this will start somewhere between S3 and S4 levels of support. More closer actually to S4, because there we can, from the middle between S3 and S4 and towards S4, where it's a double support. Also moving average 200 here will work as additional support. This consideration is also supported by the fact that we are in decline trend for RSI. We already did the trade, still did not reach the middles of it, so the further downwards pressure is there. And also if you look at MACD curve, after being at the top on the previous wave of the current wave actually maximum, we are going now down. Still need to develop a little bit further deeper downwards to create a positive upwards pressure. So although earning reports and this plus 2%, plus 2.5% we have today, and maybe some plus X we'll have tomorrow pre-market, overall then correction can be seen. So we will probably have another dark candle similar to this one, and then this will create actually a channel top R2, and then we know the R3 levels, and therefore for the next, let's say, couple of weeks, the trading channel will be defined for NXP. Overall, the stock is quite interesting. The company is actually quite stable overall, because their business is producing semiconductor chips, and overall the market of it is going to grow. Future also, we're developing new technologies in this area. Therefore, longer term or middle term, this stock is quite nice to buy. But if you are like a shorter term player, you need to catch the wave and to have a good entry. Therefore, these depicted levels would be maybe nice for your consideration. And with this, we can go to another stock in our list. It's Caterpillar. And for Caterpillar, if we look for the chart, it's very interesting combination of action and the news, because if you look at the last wave, actually that started after reconfirming the moving average 50 as a support and actually as a trend line keeper for this upwards trend that started here in the middle of May, or actually all the way from May, you can call it, if you call this action as a piercer. And the remarkable part here is that, so this T1 trend was reconfirmed at the beginning of October. The wave took all the way up, going RSI wise overbought, and similarly showing very classical behavior on MACD. So we were at the maximum in the middle of October. Also the flattening of the wave was observed, and now MACD is going down, so it's about zero, and need to either jump upwards or bounce upwards, forming secondary wave, or go down and then start reestablishing a new positive wave. In this case, we will see tomorrow the action, how it will go, but the market price behavior is very interesting here. So after flattening the curve, we see a sudden break, and then kind of rebounding from moving average 20 here, and not only from that, but also the volatility level that worked as a second step for this wave here. But now the question is, will it hold or will it pierce further? And this is interesting, because if you look now at after hours trade, after earning reports also the news kick in, and we are plus 2.48% at the moment of recording this this video. And actually if you look more closer at the chart here, we see that for the company of 88.7 billion market capacity, this is a yeah, quite significant actually correction we saw today, but also the price action is quite significant. So what we can see here is so-called, yeah, not broken wave, but wave with a bump. So it's like when you have a wave going upwards classically, then it tries to decline, tries to break, but then news kick in and wave immediately recovers. So then usually what you have, wave continues as nothing happened, and kind of trying to skip this bump, or you can also call it like a bear trap in this case. But this is not a technical bear trap, it's more like a bear trap formed by the news themselves. Therefore, technically it's still bearish, and this would mean that at the opening we will be still positive, because pre-market also is expected to be in positive levels, and we most probably even go back to the opening side or go a little bit higher than we did today candle. But overall it should be more like a bearish and then correction of the wave, most probably again all the way until this V1 volatility point, with further either a reconfirmation of trend line 1, because here we also have additional support, almost probably with slight piercing of this line, and then once this happens we can speak of overall entry levels and supports for this one. And if we look at those, these are the levels actually we can consider to enter the stock, and let's quickly draw them. So these are the lines, and now if you would think what could happen here next after this break and wave reconfirmation, most probably we will go somewhere between S1, S2 level, because we need still to confirm the previous wave stops, which are these levels that were seen in the middle of September. And actually the one before previous wave tops that were observed almost in the middle of August will work as a very strong support here. So therefore this would be the first entry level. It's actually between the channel S1, S2, closer to S2. And should the price decline further, most probably it will be just kind of a piercing, very fast action. Then if we call these lines S3, S4 and S5, then the next entry here would be somewhere at the level actually of S3, S4 as a next channel to enter, because then the top of the actually 2 waves ago of this wave will be working as an opening channel, and the top of another one will be working as a closing channel. So this will be also very serious support on those levels. And again, it's advised to average down with strategy of 1-2. So you buy with 1 portion here, average down with 2 portions here. And should the price restart from the first circle, most probably we will again reconfirm trend 1 and continue. Then the major fight between bulls and bears will take place on this previous top, actually of this new form ceiling line where the break took place. Let's call this level R1. If we will dip further and restart, then most probably we will confirm the break of trend 1, and maybe either a slower trend will start or a kind of a zigzagging trend will be forming, but this we will see later. So we will still need to come back to this one to see how it will behave. Well, with this, we can continue and go to the last stock of today, and it's F5 Networks. So for F5 Networks, we can see that the price action is a little bit different here. So if all others were on the upwards trend, here we see on the downwards trend kind of zigzagging behavior. But also it's interesting because the news, together with news and price action after hours, we see, though we had today like minus 2.1% action with the candle looking like this. So it's more like a piercer or bullish upwards negative candle, depending how you look at it. Still not looking completely like a piercer because we don't have here moving averages, but still there is a level of additional support here to be pierced, and we can call still this line as this candle as a piercer. But after hours the price went up to 4%, and most probably even tomorrow actually at the pre-market the price will also go higher. But we should not be again mistaken here. It's not a major action upwards because there are a lot very well echeloned resist lines. So first of all, it's a downwards trend R1, and also there is a faster downwards trend that is observed here. It's this one, which was confirmed with this dark candle yesterday. Let's call it R2. And with this, actually, we can see that most probably we will just we will be stuck somewhere between R1 and R2 as a volatility and dark candle formation, and then go down. And by the way, here is a first resist line on these levels, which is more like a bigger one. It's this R3. So it's overall a very resistive area. So expectation for this stock is still bullish, and we can think of first entries only starting lower. And if you would think the trading channels actually here, it will be something like this. And therefore the next entry level, the most safe entry level to start trading for this stock, so with this line as a volatility point, would be actually even lower. So it's somewhere between let's call this one S1 and this downwards trend R3. So it will be something between S1 and R3. So this would be the entry level, which can be considered more serious for this stock, because after tomorrow's behavior, it could be still unstable. The question will be still, will we pierce those three resist lines, R2, R1, and then 3? If we do, then well, maybe the upwards channel will be formed. If not, we will still continue with the channel R2 and R3, and then the entry just in the vicinity of R3 would be advised. Still, in this case, it's a little bit overcautious analysis, because technically it's still bearish. You can see that MACD curve still needs to go further. It's already in negative zone, just starting to neglect. RSI wise, you can also clearly see the downwards movement here. And although the news-based jump we saw of 4% of after hours, and probably tomorrow before opening we will see, but still the question is, for 7.6 billion company, is it still good enough catalyst to change the play, to change the game, or it will be just a local volatility and then return to the discussed trends? Again, if we see it's a game changer, okay, no problem, then we don't lose the money, but just lose the opportunity. If not, most probable situation, just volatility and return to the given downwards trends, then this circle would be a nice entry point with good buying position, and then waiting for reversal and returning to the top of the channel R2, or more probably even R1, but it will then depend on further trade actually and technicality for this stock. With this, this was the last stock in today's episode. So thank you for watching. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. This way you will not miss new interesting videos and new discussions for US-based stocks.